Today we're going to start a new unit. Today is our Introduction to Quadratics unit. By the end of this unit, once we've done all our lessons, our goal is going to be to take a quadratic function, so an equation, and we're going to actually be able to draw what the graph looks like. So by the end of this lesson, our introduction lesson on quadratics, we're going to be able to identify where we see parabolas in the real world, and we're also going to be able to label our parabola with the key features in order to describe the shape. So before we start, we're going to watch a video, and what I want you to focus on when you're watching the video specifically is I want you to focus on the way the ball is traveling through the air, okay?
Seconds to go. Curry with Cohen and Reddick right there, forming a wall. Even if it goes in, oh, it did, but it will not count. They waved it off.
They're going to take a look at this.
Well, sure they are. Oh my goodness. Former Philadelphia High School Basketball Player of the Year. I don't think he. No,
He didn't get it off.
no. Ken Mauer called it.
Green weaving, trying to get the shot up. No call that way. Curry swings it the other way. And he got it! What a turnaround! Curry the three!
A miraculous shot by Curry to left of the floor for three.
And how about Curry from the other side from 70 plus feet, ending the third. And that's the end of the first quarter. That went in, but it won't count. But why should we be surprised? Score. Time for Curry from half court. It's gone! He banks it in! He made one at the end of the first that didn't count. And this one's good.
He was mad at himself at the end of the first quarter that he didn't shoot it in time as he made it. He made sure this time he sized it up and it goes glass. Oh, you've got to be kidding.
Three-pointer number 200 on the season for...
Okay, so now that we've seen our basketball video, we've seen our basketball highlights, what I want you to think about is how the ball was traveling through the air. So think about that shape, think about what it looks like, and I want you to draw that shape in your notebooks. And as you draw it in your notebooks, I'm going to draw it on the board. Alright, so we should all have something similar to what I've got on the board. So what this shape is actually called is called a parabola. And I want you to also think about where do we see this shape other places, like where do we see this shape in nature? I know that a couple examples that I can think of are, if we think of like rainbows, that's the shape of a parabola. Another shape I can think about is if I'm thinking about a bridge, like the arch under a bridge, that's a parabola. If I think about the way like a dolphin jumps out of the water, that's a parabola. That's our U shape. So the actual definition of a parabola is a U-shaped curve of a quadratic function. So we're looking at quadratic graphs. In the past, we've looked at linear graphs before. So we know linear graph is a straight line. And some of the key vocabulary words that we used when talking about our linear graphs were x-intercepts, y-intercepts. And we also need to remember terms like our maximum value and our minimum value. These are keywords that are going to help us describe what our parabola looks like. Whenever we're working with graphs, something that's important that we should always do is label our axes. We always need to know which axis is which. So on the board, I'm going to label my y-axis, and I'm also going to label my horizontal axis, my x-axis.